Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our dance instructor, Judy Allen, says, how many dance instructors does it take to change a light bulb? 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And for tap dance, we have accompanist John Menard, and our teacher is Judy Allen, and we can get some of our other class back here. Otherwise, it's just going to be Janet and I'm really going to mess it up. And this is beginning tap dance, so forgive us a few mistakes. And we have a great instructor, Judy Allen.
Beginning tappers because they surpassed my expectations of beginning tap this month. When I teach, I try to keep a routine going throughout the month, and because this month is the end of April, as was the start of the front of April, we're dancing to April showers, and we're taking a little bit of credit for the rain that we got, not the storms, but the rain we got to help our Iowa farmers get their seeds in. And we meet once a week down in G13. You don't have any experience to join our group. You don't even have to have tap shoes for a while. If you want to come and just try out what it feels like to find out all the things your feet can do, you're more than welcome to join. And later on, you can pick up tap shoes. Usually we go to Stuff's, Crowder Closet, places like that, or tap shoes. Unless you have big feet, and then Bob had to work on that a little more than most of us. Is Janet ready? Yes. We are ready, and this is our routine. We have had no rehearsal with our accompanist, John, but he's a great improviser, and so are we, so we'll see what happens.
And we are not the top cats. They want that really understood. But I think you'll see they accomplished a lot in a month. Let's see, John.
I studied under Judy Allen tap dance at the senior center early on, and at one point I was her only student because I think the tap dancing hadn't been announced much by then, and I kept her going, kept her involved, making choreography and picking songs and doing all these things. And so when more students showed up, she was ready to go. And we went for a long time.
This has been kind of a blast. It's made the tap class get very focused. We've learned some new skills about how long we can dance, and It's been pretty amazing. But I wanted to just say how Ina and I kind of approached this, because we are kind of an odd, what did we decide? We should have called it an odd duo or some odd couple, yeah, the odd duo. We didn't want to dance while they're talking, of course, and listening to the poems. So my job was to gather something from the poems that I could find in a piece of music for us to tap to. It took a stretch, and I'll tell you about my connecting the dots a little bit later as we go through the program. But the typewriter was so easy. I'll explain that later. But I just wanted to let you know that if it wasn't for this project, I would never be as versed in iTunes, which is a marvel. Honest to Pete, everything is on iTunes. I can't credit that enough. And how much I've learned personally from being a part of this. Our tap dancers only meet once a week. I have two classes, a 10:30 class and an 11:30 class. And so the effort that they put into this, we've had to really take that one time a week and really concentrate it on this program. So this is the culmination of our entire fall semester from the planning that Ina and I did in the spring and in the summer. I wanted you to be aware of that. Another thing, when we finally take the floor, they're very insecure without me in the front. Because when we are in class, I am always in front and demonstrating. And so as a result, when I don't move, they don't move. So, and they wonder, are we doing the right thing? So I'm going to be in the front, but I don't want this to look like it's my show. It is really their show. So please look past me. They're just looking at me as if we're in class. The weirdness is for me to look out there and not have a mirror where I can see them behind me. So it's a little stranger for me than it really will be for them. But I wanted to let you know that that's why I'm kind of in the front. And let's see. Oh, we're not a performance group. I wanted to make sure everybody knew that. So there will be mistakes. There probably will be more than one mistake or mistakes. And we have used this experience to know that performance is performance, and we need to just find a way to jump back in when we're comfortable and move on. And that will be part of what we will be doing today as well. So it's a learning experience for all of us. We're thrilled to be a part of this. And now I'm going to go back and let Ina and her group read the first poem, which is, should I mention the type? No, I'm going to do the typewriter later. I'm back to the poetry people. That was my overview. Okay. Okay, this one was easy. There's a great piece of music called The Typewriter by Leroy Anderson, and you may or may not have heard of Leroy Anderson, but you have heard of other pieces that he created, especially here in the holiday time. He wrote Sleigh Ride, which is, practically, how can you go to any grocery store and not hear Sleigh Ride on the thing, or anywhere shopping? He also wrote The Syncopated Clock, that dun dun dun. So he wrote a lot of clever little musical pieces. And this one actually incorporates a real typewriter into the musical piece. It's only 2 minutes long, but it takes an excellent typist to perform this piece with a full orchestra. And if you're really interested in seeing that, another marvel besides iTunes is YouTube. I could live on YouTube. Go to YouTube, just type in The Typewriter. It'll pull up a couple of typewriter performers with full orchestra to show you how the typewriter actually gets performed in this piece. Well, we don't have that with us today. But the typewriter song has got two very distinct sounds. One is the bell, and all of you remember, I think in here, at least we know what a typewriter is. And we remember when you get close to the end, you heard a bell, ding, and then you heard the swish of the crank to move, because we had to manually move that carriage back over. So those two sounds, as I listened to this piece of music, really intrigued me. And I decided, because I have two groups, that I wanted one of the groups to accentuate the ding of the bell, and the other group to accentuate the swish of the typewriter carriage. So I'm taking this opportunity to give you a lesson in dance composition and our process, because I would now like my 10:30 class to show you their version of just the bell. They're doing the bell, and you will see that very clearly. So 10:30 class, come on up.
And then I'm going to show you the 11:30 group alone, and then I'm going to show you both groups together. So we'll see how we piece this whole thing together. So I am dancing with the 10:30 group, so I'm a part of this group. Jody, are you ready? I'm ready. Okay. Now, the 11:30 class learned a slightly different version. Okay, 11:30 class, you're on. These are the scrapers. I call them the scrapers because the action that they're using in the dance is actually called the scrape. Okay, ready? We're ready. Here's how it all looks when we put the two groups together, which was very challenging for them because usually in class we're all doing the same thing at the same time. So now when I put the two groups together, they had to really know their own because they're not always doing the same thing at the same time. All right, here's how the final product. Okay, there was your lesson in Dance Composition 101 here. I do want to say one thing. Leroy Anderson was really an amazing composer. In doing my research for this, he not only wrote the familiar pieces of Sleigh Ride and Syncopated Clock, this piece, The Typewriter, was first performed by the Boston Pops in 1950. He wrote it in 1950. And he was really known as a conductor extraordinaire in a lot of different venues. And two things that really struck me about him: he served in World War II and served in military intelligence, which I think is kind of interesting. And also, he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Okay. We have a tribute to Mehitabel. Since she isn't a very sophisticated cat, we thought we would present for you a very famous traditional tap dance, old tap dance called the Shim Sham, to the great piece of music called Alley Cat, which is a little bit like Mehitabel. And this is a recording by Chet Atkins. It was a very famous recording of his. He put it on 7 of his albums. It was recorded in 1963, so we could remember that far back. Okay, Shim Sham. Oh, no. This has a very strange start because it has no intro, so we'll all get together eventually. Whenever you're ready, Jody.
My mistake. That dance should have been after the Mehitabel introduction and not after all the insects, but there is an insect dance.
Oh, gosh, yes. On iTunes, you can find anything. But on this one, it was a bit challenging. On this one, it was a bit challenging because guess what? There aren't a whole lot of interesting songs about cockroaches, fleas, bees, mosquitoes. What else did I find? Oh, worms. Looked up worm dances. There were no such thing as worm dances. That was tough. So I decided, because I really didn't like some of the other pieces of music that I was looking around for, I decided one day that I've just got to solve this problem. And suddenly, I'm not kidding you, out of nowhere, I thought, what is the most famous insect of all? Jiminy Cricket. Remember Jiminy Cricket? Okay, Jiminy Cricket. Walt Disney gave us Jiminy Cricket in 1940. It was his second big animated film after Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which was in 1937. So he created this in 1940. And one of his composers wrote a couple of very famous songs from that. When You Wish Upon a Star is from Pinocchio. All of these songs are from Pinocchio. Jiminy Cricket was in Pinocchio. And that won an Academy Award in 1940. The second big song in Pinocchio is Give a Little Whistle, which became very popular in the big band circles. I found a Glenn Miller version, but the version that Jim and I are going to dance to is by Woody Herman. So this is our tribute to Walt Disney, Jiminy Cricket, insects of all kinds. And I have to tell you that it's kind of been a lot of fun. Jim was a former student of mine when I was teaching here at the University of Iowa eons ago. And one day he walks into my tap class and I'm going, oh my gosh, that face is so familiar. So Jim was with the dance program, went on to be a 5th grade school teacher most of his life, and shows up, and so we reconnected. I asked him if he would do a solo. He said no, but he would do a duet. So in order to get him to solo, I had to dance as well. So this is a duet for Jim and I, Woody Herman's version of Give a Little Whistle.
Judy and Jim are going to do a tap duet. This is a special thank you to Janet. At her request, we weren't scheduled to do this, but how can you say no to Janet? So she does so many wonderful things here for the Senior Center. So Janet, this is for you. Oh, this has nothing to do with Debbie Reynolds, by the way.
Get in trouble and you don't know right from wrong, give a little whistle, give a little whistle. When you meet temptation and the urge is very strong, give a little whistle, give a little whistle. Not just a little squeak, pucker up and blow. And if your whistle's weak, yell, Jiminy Cricket. Take the straight and narrow path, and if you start to slide, give a little whistle, give a little whistle, and always let your conscience be your guide.
Because Mahitable is a dancing cat, but with attitude. We have two numbers left. Our first number, Cat with Attitude, is actually called The Cat Came Back. And some of you might know this. It was a famous children's song. I'd never heard it until I got on iTunes. And it actually was recorded or composed in 1893. I couldn't believe it was that old. It was first recorded in 1904. And then kind of became famous in 1924 and 25 through these recordings. It basically has kind of fallen into the category of children's songs, and because it is so old and has, what do I want to say, kind of a rhyme to it, a lot of verses have been created that weren't part of the original, and it kind of lives in the tradition of folk music as well. So our version that we're going to do today is, from The Cat Came Back, is by Harry Miller. No, I'm sorry. Is by, let me see. Where did I have it here?
Marty Harper.
Marty Harper. How did you know that? Very good. You get a gold star. Okay. And he is a very famous children's song composer and from Stillwater, Oklahoma, of all places. So, this is our version of The Cat Came Back, and this is the dance that we have with door prizes for you being here. So if you're lucky enough to get a door prize, you get to keep it. We don't want these back. Okay? All right, Cat Came Back.
disappear, so he kindly tossed her out upon her ear. But the cat came back the very next day. The cat came back, we thought she was gone. The cat came back, she would not stay away.
I found Judy when I retired and took up tap dancing, and she made me feel like I was on Broadway even though I tapped like a beginner. We miss you, Judy.
The very next day, the cat came back, we thought she was gone. The cat came back, she would not stay away. Mr. Johnson, the bachelor who was going on, was convinced that the cat would find the ladies up in queues. Indeed, the yellow cat had drawn a beauty to his flank, with a crush and hit an iceberg and it sank. But the cat came back the very next day. The cat came back, we thought she was gone. The cat came back, she would not stay away. Mr. Johnson freed a mouse near a bottling machine. The young cat chased it up the velvet between. You could hear the torture yowling round the corner from the shop. For a week, fuzzy tasting pop. But the cat came back the very next day. The cat came back, we thought she was gone. The cat came back, she would not stay away.
Hi, this is Patty. I always wanted to be a dancer as a child, a dancer, a model, you know, but I wasn't able to take dance classes because of catechism. So when I found Judy after I retired, I was thrilled. Judy made me feel like I was on Broadway and that I could do anything I wanted to do. And so I thank you, Judy, for letting me live out some of my childhood dreams. And I miss you terribly.
Mr. Johnson cried out in frustration and he said he dreamed that night that his grandma was there. She said the cat must really love you, she refuses to depart. With Mr. Johnson working had a change of heart. I'll keep that cat, Mr. Johnson said. I'll keep that cat since I can't make her leave. I'll find a way to make her stay. But when he went to tell her the yellow cat was gone, for a week he couldn't find her in the house or on the lawn. But the day she finally showed up, she didn't come alone. She brought 7 yellow kittens of her own. Came back, the cat came back. Anybody want a kitten? The cat came back, she would not stay
Our second Cat with Attitude number is by Garrison Keillor. I know a lot of you know Garrison from A Prairie Home Companion, and he wrote a song called Cat, You Better Come Home. And he actually wrote this in 1991. It was so successful, he turned it into a children's book in 2010. And actually, one of my dancers said they even had the book. I was surprised by this when I read it online. And he also put this version that we're doing on an album called Songs of the Cat, made in 2007. He must have had a cat because he wrote a lot of cat songs and told a lot of cat stories, and of course had his Bertha Kitty Boutique advertiser on his program. This is the song where I think you'll hear the violin rather pronounced, so we know that's Mehitabel's Guts that we're listening to. And we also feel that Mehitabel, probably because she has a lot of pep and she did the shimmy, she probably was very good at the Charleston. So there's a little bit of Charleston in this as well. This is Cat, You Better Come Home.
My cat, she pleaded, and my cat, she cried, for me to open up the door and let her go outside. Then she sat on the lawn underneath the tree, pretending that she couldn't hear me. As I said, cat, you better come on home. Oh, cat, you better come on home. There's dogs in the dark waiting to attack. Cat hawks looking for a late night snack. So cat, oh cat, you better come home. My cat, she turned and she tossed her head. I may or may not come, she said. I'm a cat who's deeply dissatisfied. And you know, when I decided, said cat, you better come home now. Oh cat, you better shag it on in here, I say. I'll close this door and I'll lock this bolt. You can spend the night in the snow and cold. So cat, oh cat, you better come on home. She said I'd rather be a cat that meets a terrible fate than live with a man I don't appreciate. That a cat is independent and too highbrow and demands a little less chat. I've seen the food that you feed your guests, the turkey and the tuna and the chicken breast. Do you share it with your cat? No, you don't know what. Now toast, fruits, liver, pot, cat. Get on home now. I said, cat, you better come on home. I'm not about to stand here and argue with the cat. Now what do the next two members think of that? So cat, oh cat, you better come on home. Well, I never, she said, and she turned in a huff. You've seen the last of your old cat huff. She left with a sardonic laugh, and she left for a year and a half. I felt so bad, full of guilt and shame. I walked around town just calling her name, with a great big plate of Chateaubriand and some tuna fish in my hand. I said, please come home. Oh, cat, please come home. Come on, old pup, come home with us. I got a lot of friends, benefits, and I get this stuff, so oh, cat, please come home. I saw her 6 months later in a cat magazine. She was a #1 TV cat food queen with a fat contract with a cat food firm. Her hair was done up in a perm. You could tell it was rough, though this cat was wrapped.
Okay, my name is Hillary, and I took tap with Judy for several years at the Senior Center, and it was an amazing experience. She was an amazing creative choreographer. All of her choreography was very musical. Everything she gave us just totally went with the music. She gave us accents and themes, and everything just worked so well together. And I know it's really hard to modify choreography and make it simple, but make it interesting and make it interesting to look at and fun to do. And she was so skilled at that. And she was the most patient teacher. I don't know how many times I asked her to break down the Cincinnati, and she would always do it. But, no matter how many times she had explained something, she would explain it again. She was incredibly inclusive in the class. Everyone was welcome. You don't have tap shoes, no problem. Just come in and tap in your sneakers, and then she would find you some shoes. And she created a community for us, and it was totally amazing, and I miss her very much.
I picked her up like a big horse sack. She said, easy, Jack, we got a salmon. I'm a pack, I got a big salmon cabin. That's no lie, I gotta go cold turkey. I'm gonna do a fish pie. If other cats could only know, they hang their hats on the status quo. Cause the very worst thing that a cat can do is to make all his dreams come true. You better come home. Oh, cat. There's dogs in the dark waiting to attack. Cat hawks looking for a late night snack. So cat, oh, you better come home. You can seek your fortune, but nevertheless, remember your name and your address. And cat, oh, you lovely cat, you better come on home.
so much to our readers. Wonderful job, and the dancers, and all of you for coming today. I would like to encourage you to partake in some of our refreshments in the lobby. We have cupcakes and coffee, and stick around and meet with some of the dancers and poetry readers if you have any questions about what they've done today or you're interested in joining one of their classes or groups. So thank you so much.
That looks like it did an
Yeah, want to talk about it? Our tappers. And Judy Allen is our tap teacher here.
Judy Allen, our tap class instructor. Want to say anything?
Well, yes.
Tappers? Now we're on.
Okay, are we on? Yeah. Okay, well, we're the people who make a joyful noise. And when it's all organized in your feet, it's called tap dancing. And we meet on Thursdays. We invite anybody who loves the music, probably pre-1950s, to come join us. But we have a great group of people, and I actually have 2 groups this year, starting in January, a more beginning group and a little more advanced group, and we're going to show you 2 samples of what we've been doing since January for the first piece, but I'm very proud of my second group because they have been learning their routine only in about the past 4 or 5 weeks, so I think it's quite an accomplishment, and you'll see that. We also have very specific tap vocabulary, and so I am going to hopefully tell you and show you as we're demonstrating and send out to you the information about vocabulary on tap dancing, and you'll get your quiz at the end. Can I have everybody in, please? I'm a teacher, so you have that. Oh, we also have to find this Lord. We also kind of look for music, reasons to tap a certain kind of music. And so I'm sure some of you have heard that Natalie Cole passed away, the daughter of Nat King Cole. So our 2 songs are Natalie Cole songs because we love this style of music. The first one is called Orange Colored Sky.
This is Bob. I was the second person to join Judy's tap dance class at the center. I was always interested in dance but had never tried tap. Judy made it interesting and exciting. When we started doing performances for programs at the center, it was so much fun to be in front of an audience with her. I will miss her very much. She was such a wonderful dance instructor.
Yeah.
can't get around much anymore. Don't get around much anymore. You're correct. Mr. Saturday. Can you start that again?
Tap group, and Judy Allen, it's her tap classes she'll talk about. Thanks, Janet. These are members of the 10:30 tap class, and my challenge when I'm working with groups is to come up with really wonderful music that we can tap to. And we really lucked into, and this is maybe a strange thing to say, but Debbie Reynolds, if you remember, she died right around Christmas time, and I was looking for something new to do in January, so I went to iTunes, one of my favorite places online, and found a Debbie Reynolds song that she recorded in 1960 called Life is Just a Bowl of Cherries. And so this is our first tribute to Debbie Reynolds. I'll keep you on pins and needles for the second one. It's coming up. And in this group, I just wanted to say we are constantly learning new things. And I build the choreography around certain tap steps that I want the class to learn and reinforce. So in this particular class, our big challenge was a double time step, which comes at the end. You'll know it when you see it. It's the hardest thing we do. A scuff, which is hitting our heel on the floor. We have a lot of scuffs. Grapevines, which all the folk dancers and the line dancers know about. It's traveling sideways. And I put in a lot of different kinds of grapevine steps for them in this. Also a tip tap, which is hitting the toe of your shoe, usually in the back, but it can also happen in front. You'll see all of these in Life is Just a Bowl of Cherries.
face, it's too mysterious. You work, you say, you worry so, but you can't take it go when you go, go, go. Keep repeating it's a belly. The strongest rope must fall. The best things in life to you were just loan. So how can you lose what you never have owned? Life is just a bowl of cherries. So live and laugh at it all. So how can you lose what you never have owned? Life is just a bowl of cherries, so live and laugh at it all. So when you get a pocket full of big red cherries, you can live it up. Yes, and laugh at it
That was really great. So this is the last song. Here's Judy. Well, yes, this is the intermediate tap. Remember, it's not all of them could be here today, but we're the finer sampling, right, ladies? Of the intermediate tap group. And again, at the beginning of this semester in January, I was looking for an appropriate song in tribute to Debbie Reynolds. And to all of you, so this is all about Debbie, by the way. So, you know that the great scene in Singing in the Rain where Debbie pops out of the cake and she does her little cutesy number, and it's kind of a Charleston thing, but we're not doing that. But we found that piece of music haunted me because it's such a wonderful piece of music. And again, through iTunes, which I recommend everybody to get on iTunes, I found Dean Martin sang a wonderful, wonderful version of this song. And because we did kind of a very upbeat piece in December with the Poetry Aloud people, I was looking for something that was a little on the slower side. So this is Dean Martin singing All I Do Is Dream of You the Whole Night Through. And for this group, I taught them a new step, the Cincinnati. That's built in there. We concentrated on scrapes a lot. We concentrated also on turning, which is a whole new thing in dance. For those of you that, if you don't turn a lot, you have to kind of learn how to turn. So we did a lot of different kinds of turns. And also ball changes. All of this little quick action is called a ball change. Usually it's with the legs closed. I tried to give them some open ball changes in this piece to challenge us to add new vocabulary. So you'll see all of those things, and All I Do Is Dream of You, Dean Martin. But one of the Rat Pack, by the way, whoever did the Rat Pack tribute, that was a great tie-in, we didn't even know.
You ever thought
springtime, and where there are more than 24 hours
Judy, you were the best tap teacher I ever had, and as you know, I had many. No one did videos of the combinations that you taught and then sent to us so we could practice. And the videos that, when we couldn't make it to class, were just fantastic. I knew several of the people, but there were a few that you introduced me to. That was just great. But in addition, and more importantly, you were a good and loyal friend. Mary Ann Letizia.
and were there more than 24 hours a day, there'd be something sweet and tender, feeling away. When the skies are gray, when the skies are blue, morning, noon, and night time too. All I could hold me through is a dream of you.
Yes, the baseball. It's round, and We have a shared vocabulary with a lot of baseball terms in the world of dance. And one of those is the walk. We know what a baseball walk looks like. Dancers have to up the ante on all of this. So this performance is a very adapted performance of something called the Cole Stroll, which is a walk that was created by the very famous Honey Coles, tap dancer, and we adapted it, put it in the round. We have, I think, a very big surprise for you at the end, because we have door prizes for you. All right, we don't want these back when we send them out there. So anyway, here is, did you see Jackie Robinson hit that ball? I put the music credits and the singing credits in the program today. You know, when a lot of us think about baseball, we think about these nostalgic days, players like Musial and whatever. When you think about a lot of tap dancing, you think about the nostalgia days and kind of the iconic identities of tap dancing, which is a top hat and cane. Fred Astaire showed how great that was, as well as other dancers. Well, we decided to do our own nostalgia top hat and cane routine, only we're using baseball bats and caps. So to fit the occasion, we are performing our own top hat and cane kind of routine to a nostalgia piece that was written by Terry Cashman. And I think you'll recognize a lot of the players that he references in the song.
Marijuana, we were scorned. Down the corner, the national pastime went on trial. Talking baseball, Klazuski and Banana. Talking baseball, the man and Bobby Fella, the scooter, the bomber, and the Duke. They know them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. Well, KC was winning, Hank Aaron was beginning. One early going out, one coming in. Kiner and Richard Goodell, the Thumper and Del Parnell. And I was the only one winning down in Washington. I'm talking baseball, Klazuski and Banana. Talking baseball, the man Bobby Fella, the scooter, the bomber, and the Duke. They know them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. Now my old friend Bachelor, Bunny Swan was the Oklahoma kid, and Cookie played and Cookie, the corn seemed to do, and me, I always company was watching days. Well, now it's the 80s, and red is the greatest, and Bobby Bonds can play for everyone. Rose is at the pit, Rusty again is a net, and the great Alexander is pitching again in Washington. I'm talking baseball, like Reggie Keys and Henry. Talking baseball, Carew and Gaylord Terry, Steve McCall and Skip and Madam Blue. If Cooper's down is calling, it's no fluke. They'll be with Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. Mickey and the Duke. Say hey, say hey, say hey. It was Willie, Mickey and the Duke. Say hey, say hey, say hey. I'm talking Willie, Mickey and the Duke. Say hey, say hey, say hey. Say hey, say hey, say hey, say hey.
Another vocabulary word that we have in common with baseball as dancers is the word swing. We all know that a good swing in baseball means a lot. A good swing in dance means a lot too. So to the music of It Don't Mean a Thing Unless It Ain't Got That Swing is Jim Gibson and I are going to perform this little duet. It's our tribute to the infield and the very iconic diamond shape of that infield and the players who play in that infield primarily.
ain't got the swing. It doesn't need a thing, all you gotta do is sing. He thinks he ain't got the swing. It doesn't need a thing, all you gotta do is sing. Don't need a thing, and you ain't got that swing. Don't need a thing, and you ain't got that swing.
Well, for some people, baseball is like a religion. They're very dedicated to the game, save those cards, go to those games, collect baseball caps and shirts and whatever, T-shirts. So we found a wonderful song by Winona Carr, Sister Winona Carr, called "Life is a Ball Game."
Strike one.
Just the same.
We've prepared a fan dance, a baseball fan dance. Oh. It's not what you think. Picked up on that right away. No, we are going to leave our shirts on, our costumes on. And this is a tribute to the baseball players. Because without the game of baseball, the fans have nothing to get excited and invigorated about. So this is also our audience participation number. So clear your laps, steady to breathe, and out. Seems like you're a part of this fan dance. And it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once more. I didn't get all the way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The second half is kind of just bend over, raise your hands. You've got 2 pushes to the sky, boom, boom, down. So the whole thing is last half, down, come up, 2 pushes, boom, boom. Now, you probably know the words to this. It is, hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win today. Hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win today. And hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to, I'm gonna take it back. And hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win again. Hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win. Last time. Hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win today. Pretty good. It's not going to take a lot longer, by the way. There's a long time to work this out. That's embedded in our choreography. And the song you're going to recognize, it's the famous kind of Cubs mantra song after they win the game. So there's a little bit lead in front of it. You'll know when to hit it. So we're going to go, Cubs, go. Go, Cubs, go. When you see them do bum, bum, then you're coming in. In Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are gonna win today. Look at it. Cubs I don't believe in get over rehearsing, so. And we're the fans in the stands.
All seasons underway. Well, you better get ready for a brand new day. It's gonna what you say. The girls are gonna win today. Let's let it go, rock, roll. Go, rock, roll. It's gonna what you say. The girls are gonna win today. Go, rock, roll. Go, rock, roll. It's gonna what you say. The girls are gonna win today. They got the power, they got the speed. The best in class will be. Well, this is the year of the Tommy. So come on down to Big E. We're singing go, rock, roll. Go, rock, roll. Ain't you gonna what you say? The girls are gonna win today. Go, rock, roll. Go, rock, roll. Ain't you gonna what you say? The girls are gonna win today. These more times here again. You can catch it on the weekend. So stand deep, clap your hands. You know the world's got the greatest man. And you sing it out, go, rock, roll. Go, rock, roll. Ain't you gonna what you say? The girls are gonna win today. Go, rock, roll. Go, rock, roll. Ain't you gonna what you say? The girls are gonna win today. Go, rock, roll. Go, rock, roll. Ain't you gonna what you say? The girls are gonna win today. Go, rock, roll. Go, rock, roll. Ain't you gonna what you say? The girls are gonna win today.
Oh, you guys are getting up to join tap class. You got that really fast.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for coming and participating today. I think this was a lot of fun. And thank all of our tap dancers. Let's give them a round of applause. And on piano, John Renard. And National Poetry Month, reading aloud. Thank you so much. We have more Cracker Jacks if you're interested in the back. They have a prize. Oh, of course, I am so sorry. I neglected to recognize our senior standing room only SSRO for the Who's On First. So. Thank you so much, Gail. When you don't have notes in front of you, that's what happens. So anyway, thank you so much.
Yes, welcome everyone again this year. I wanted to also thank Allison. She's doing our music. She's the helper, assistant, what do you call her? Yes, for Michelle. So let's have a nice day of dance. And our first dance will be the tap dancing. I don't know if, Judy, you wanted to say a few things? I would. Okay. And Judy Allen is our tap dancing queen. Yes, we're all here to tell you a little bit about what we're doing in our classes, and I do teach 2 sections of tap dance. One that I call my underclassmen, and the other one I call my upperclassmen. And the difficulty factor occurs in both of those classes,
And we ended up 2 weeks ago putting on a program here with the Reading Aloud group and the SSRO people and John Bernard playing as well on the piano. How many of you came to that baseball program? Well, the rest of you have to imagine us. You'll see a reprise of those dances, 2 of those dances. But the rest of you have to imagine us. The costumes were great. We had these hats, black pants, we had Hawkeye baseball shirts that came down to here. So imagine that while we're doing these 2 dances. The first is my 10:30 class, performing to Mickey, Willie, and the Duke, music by Terry Cashman. He wrote this in the 80s. And it is a nostalgia piece about the great baseball players, probably in the 50s, 60s, and 70s at that time. And we thought we would take and do some nostalgia tap dancing baseball mix. So instead of doing a top hat and cane routine, we're doing ball caps and baseball bat routine in honor of that era of tap dancing to Mickey, Willie, and the Duke by Terry Cashman.
Well, now it's the 80s, and red is the greatest, and Bobby Bonds can play for everyone. Rose is at the vet, Rusty again is a Met, and the great Alexander is pitching again in Washington. I'm talking baseball, like Reggie Keys and Henry, talking baseball. Carew and Gaylord Perry, Seaver, Garvey, Schmidt, that kind of blue. They'll be with Willie, Mickey and the Duke. Willie, Mickey and the Duke. Say
Who was the Duke? Duke
Schneider. He was with the New York team, wasn't he? Brooklyn Dodgers from an expert out here in the front row.
Okay, my upperclassmen, we did a baseball piece to a piece of music that was so much fun for us to work with. It is called Life is a Ball Game. It's a gospel song written in the 1950s by Sister Winona Carr, and I don't think it needs any more explanation. Have a good time watching us with this because we love doing it. Okay.
This is Thea, and I was a relatively new student of Judy's. I discovered her at one of the recitals at the Senior Center, and I was so impressed. and it looked like a lot of fun, which it was. When I got down there, she gave me some tap shoes and made me feel so welcome. But what I really loved about it was the fact that we became friends, and she would take us out to lunch, and we would go to Quentin's or Mama's, and we really did become a community. So, miss you, Judy.
My name is Janet Forrest. I met Judy Allen in 2013 when I took her tap class at the Senior Center. She in turn supported me by taking my modern dance class. I realized that we had a lot to share concerning our experiences in the dance world. Being chairman of the dance department here at the University of Iowa in the 70s, Judy told me different stories about the dance personalities she met over the years. I remember her telling me how Ed was designated to be the one to haul Daniel Nagrin's extensive luggage when he came here as a visiting artist. I wanted to mention that Judy was one of the original toe tappers. That means dancing with taps on her toe shoes. Can you imagine? Judy Allen was a wonderful dancer and teacher and a very special human being.
And our